Hey my friends, welcome back to Your Florida Electrician. Man, do we got a lot going on. We just had this 800 square foot addition built and we have a bunch of wiring to do. We're going to do probably separate videos on 4-ways, 3-ways, how to wire the ceiling fans, how to come up with how to start wiring this thing. I mean, how do you run your circuits, right? How do you come up with that? What size circuits? You know, do I use 14 wire, 12 wire? What do we do? In this particular video, I'd like to cover the kitchen, the existing kitchen. We have a box there that we'd like to use to run the outlets and switches. Well, the switch is out here. So we'd like to delete that box from running anything in the kitchen because it's kind of was used for the outside lights and the dining room. So we'd like to use that box to share it for the dining room, make it a 3-way, existing dining room, and to add that box to run some recess lights, the fan lights of the new addition, and some additional recess lights that are also going to be in there. So right now I got to cut that 2-gang box out, the existing, and rewire it. Let's go do that. Okay, this is what the plan shows. We have a 3-gang here for running some recess cans. Okay, this is going to be a separate switch. So for running like 6 recess cans, 2 fans, it's going to be 3-wayed, 4-wayed from the bedroom, coming out of the old house, coming into the new addition. I don't like it here. I'm going to show you what it looks like here. It's going to be really hard to work with, and it's kind of out of the way. I would rather have it here. There's an existing switch box here. I would like to cut it out and put a new box in. Let's check it out. All right, this is the proposed new location according to the print. We've got plywood here. Behind it is a closet. The builder doesn't want to take it down and expose the studs, so it's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. I could probably get wires down there. Sure the hell ain't going to be fun. I'm eventually going to have to put outlets in here for wall spacing anyway, so one way or the other I'm going to have to get outlets. That's the old outdoor light that used to be back here for the backyard. That's going to be deleted. And that's coming off of this switch here. I plan on cutting this out, making it a 4-gang. 1 switch will be for the existing, and the other 3 will be for inside here. First things first, shut the breaker off. Okay, as you can see, we got the switches out. I checked to see if there's enough room to add a multiple gang. So I have a screwdriver here I call a wiggy. Okay, and it's handy for getting into the wall. And then you can go like this. And I'm not hitting anything. So that means I have plenty of room this way for a bigger gang box. And it's nailed on right here. So I have plenty of room this way. The trouble is going to be getting additional wires down with all this in the way. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that, to be honest with you. So as usual, I found myself up in the attic. Some of that older wiring you see over there, that's going to the light fixture in the dining room. And then it comes over here, it's bringing power over to what used to be that outside floodlight. That all can be deleted. And then we got a switch loop wire going there and another one from that light going there. I would like to pull those up if I can, but I need to get a whole bunch of wires down there soon. So I need to see if the hole's big enough to get wires down or not. Plus rewire this one so it's fed off of the other light box over there. So as you can see, we replaced the light fixtures. That one and that one is gone. We put 6 LED lights in. I'm going to show you the wiring up in the attic here momentarily. We were in kind of a hurry to get it done before Mama got home, so we didn't put the switches yet. So we still have this light box. These lights are not on a switch. They're directly wired to the breaker. But we're going to add that right now. Now we have an outline where our 4 gang is going to go. Oh, they did staple it. So as you can see, we added some 14-2 wiring. These are the new LED lights downstairs. That's plywood for lying on because it's really difficult to get into the corners and work. Okay, so we got 6 new LED lights wired in. I put them on the side of the trusses because we're going to put more insulation in here at some point. And it's really busy over there. There's a lot going on over there. But for now, I need to get into this corner. That's where I just took that 2 gang box out to put a 4 gang. I need to make a hole much bigger to get a whole bunch of wires down there. A 3-way, bunch of 3-ways for the new addition. Okay, as you see, I had to make a ton of holes. There's my new 4 gang hole right here. I had to get the old wiring out, which was strapped against the wall, so I made a hole there, get the staples off. And I made a hole here big enough under my AC to get my drill up in there. Because I need a lot more wires to go down. I need my 14-2 switch leg for these lights, my 14-3 for the 3-way for the traveler. And then for the other room, I'm probably going to need another power leg going on, unless I can run it all in one circuit, but I don't know, it's a lot. Another one for my home run for the other room. And then I'm going to need, let's see, everything coming out of there, the other 3 are probably going to be 3-weight or whatever. So I need 3 more 14-3s, and then I probably need a power out to go over to the porch light. At the end of 3-way, there's no constant power, so you can't take power out of the end of a 3-way. So you need another power coming out. I'll draw that somehow.
Okay, guys, what we drew here was box number 1, the one you saw me just cut out of the wall, 4 gang box. Box 2 is the next box we're going to be looking at in the room, and box 3 is the end of all these 3-ways. These gray wires are 14-2. The blue wires are 14-3. I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. I bought this program and worked with this quite a bit to do this drawing, so hopefully it helps. Anyway, so starting with box number 1, we have the 14-2 home run coming from the electrical panel. And we have a 14-3 coming in from the kitchen, the end of the kitchen 3-way. So basically there's 2 circuits in this box. This 3-way is 1 circuit, and these 3-ways are going to be the other circuit for the addition. Then we have to have, we have power coming in. We have to have power going out on the 14-2 to power box number 2, basically for this guy right here, for the single pole. If it wasn't for these single poles, I wouldn't need any more power coming in or out. If it wasn't for this one, I wouldn't need any more power coming in and out. The power is coming into these 3-ways from the home run. These don't need power because they're coming from these 3-ways. And these don't need power because they're coming from these 3-ways. But because I decided to put a single pole switch for a sconce on this box and an outside light from this box, I had to run additional power outs. And then into box 2, another power out, and then into box 3 to power my single poles. So along with that, the end of that 3-way, which is a different circuit, to kitchen lighting. That's 14-2 switch leg, we call it, going up to the kitchen lights, a different circuit. So power in, and then feeding 1, 2, 3 3-ways. Okay, the LED, the dining, and the fans going out to box 2. coming in to box 2 from box 1. In the middle of 3 ways has to be a 4-way. Okay, if you want to switch from 3 different locations. So you're going to have 2 sets of 3 wires for each switch. 3 wire in, 3 wire out, 3 wire in, 3 wire out, 3 wire in, 3 wire out. Now when you get to the end of these 3 ways right here, dining, LED, dining, fans, 3 wire, now you have your switch legs, 14-2. Dining, the LED, dining, and fans. I hope this helps explain hopefully some of the next videos or the rest of this video. I know it's super confusing. I wanted these videos to be for beginners. I hope this helps. If you need to pause the video or watch it again, feel free.
Okay, this is box number 1. It's actually a 4-gang. You got 4 spaces for switches or outlets. This one was a 2-gang before in the kitchen, and we decided to use this to switch some of the outlets and switches out here in this addition. So this was a good spot to start. So to do this, we had to take that out, and we had to cut a bunch of holes up into the attic to get these wires down in here. It was quite the pain. So as you can see, all these 14-3 wires, travelers we call them in the trade, run up and over from that first box, number 1. There's the dining light. Over to here. They go over nice and neat. Then they go up and over and they come down here. Nice and neat. Into box number 2. All right, so all those 14-3 wires are going into this box. Okay, and there's a lot of them. But also, each one of these, except for that one, this one is going to be sconce lights, single pole switch. Each one of these, the recess lights, the lights for the dining, and the fan lights all have a 3-wire coming in and going out to another switch box. Because I want to be able to control this in 3 locations. It doesn't make sense. They call it a 3-way, but it's actually controlled from 2 locations. And this is going to be mostly 4 ways. 4-way, 4-way, 4-way. This one's going to be single pole for my sconce light. This is going to be all 4-way stuff. And then the last box is going to be 3-way stuff. So as you can see, some of the 3 wires coming over here. Both of these. Okay, and then it comes over here nice and neat. Goes down into box number 3. Sorry for the light, getting a lot of reflection off the camper. Okay, so nice and neat. We got these stapled up. Look at that. Tried to make them nice and neat. Blue, white, blue, white, blue, white. Okay, what this box is going to have is the outside light, single pole. This one is probably going to be the recess cans. When you first come in, you turn the recess cans on. Most likely the dining room light or the fan. And the other one will be the dining or the fan. And an outside light. Of course, we did the outside light already. So, yeah, this is my switch leg for the outside light. So this one will have 1 3-wire plus a switch leg. Some of you probably saying, well, Fred, what the hell is a switch leg? The switch leg is the wire that's coming from the end of the circuit, the end of the 3-way, or the end of a normal single pole switch that runs directly to the fixture that you want to control. That's the switch leg. So for this one, okay, we have a light that's going to be outside. This wire here, coming out of it and going down and going into this, whoop, whoop, that's my switch leg. So I have switch legs for the recess cans. I have switch legs for the fans. You see the fans over there. There's going to be 2 ceiling fans with just 2-wire. I don't care about running the fan and the light separately. I'm going to get a remote, no big deal. And then a whole bunch of junction boxes that are up here. I don't know if you can see them. For the ceiling, for the recess cans, you see? I have these guys. I have like 5 of them in here. Those are all wired up. But there's a switch leg for each thing at the end of this 3-way, 4-way circuit. So let's get started. I want to cut in box number 2. That's back over there. It's kind of hot today, so I get the fan running. But yeah, let me show you how to cut this one in. Sorry, this video is probably going to be a little bit long. I'm going to break it into little chapters if you want to skip to something. Okay? All right, guys, we're back at box number 2. This one has all the 3 wires running in and out. So when you get 2 3 wires, this location is actually going to be a 4-way. So it's right in between the 2 3 ways. That's how it has to work. It can't be at the end. The 4-way is going to be in the middle. You see, we took the time to really run these wires nice and neat. You can't really staple more than 3 together, but you can zip tie off of a staple and add 2 or 3 more wires, and so on and so on and so on. And they have to be about 1.25 inches or so away from the edge, so when they drywall, they don't hit it. So here's where things start getting fun, is you need to identify everything that's in the box. So on the bottom here, I put a little P. Can't see what we see here. Okay, so really we're in the middle of the box. All right, put a little P on there. That means power. This is a power coming in or going out to the next switch box. Okay, there's another one here that's also marked P. So that's power coming in or going out to the next switch box. And then most likely, this is my switch leg for the sconce. I plan on putting a couple sconces in here. It's going to look like a movie theater or whatever. So power in and out, you need to know what's what. So it's very important that you mark somewhere on top of the box because you're going to take this insulation off at some point and start working with it. So I need to know that these 2 from the top, coming in from the top, are power. So I have a marker. All right, so the 2 coming in from the top, I'm going to mark right next to it, P for power. Bottom over here, this one is my sconce switch leg. It actually runs down here, goes through the wall, and goes up to the first sconce. And then this one here, let's see, did we mark this one? This is the 3-way for the fan. This one's probably also the 3-way for the fan. I keep them together. Yes, these 2 are both 3-way for the fan. So I'm going to mark the top of the box here. Fan, fan. Okay, because I want to know what these are. Once I strip the insulation, it's going to be very hard to know what's what. Next one is a dining. This one's probably the dining also. Yep. So these are dining. You won't see these writings later because they're going to put drywall and you never see it. And these 2 are the switch legs. Not switch legs. These are the recessed can, both of these. So at this point, I just want to get these ready for putting switches in. So I'll probably kind of fast forward this a little bit, do a time lapse or whatever. So I appreciate you guys hanging in there. I know it's going to be a lot to take in. Proper PPE is also a good idea. I don't need these to be as long as this. I need maybe less than a foot coming out of here. Now that I have them marked up here, I can start cutting these wires back a little bit. Okay, there we go. The insulation stripped off. I could have cut these back a little bit further, but we're pretty good. I'm going to do another video later on box fill, because this one surprised me. I had to get a bigger box. All these wires account for a bit of fill in the box, and I got a lot of wires here. I ended up being overfill, so I had to get a little bit bigger of a box. Luckily, they had one. But yeah, that'll be another video. So each one of these switches that we put in, single pole or 4-way, is going to need a ground wire going to it, okay? So the wires we don't need at the moment, let's just put them up out of the way, okay? Okay. Now the only wires we're worried about is the ground. Okay, we want to put all these together. Okay, I want to twist all these together, so maybe I'll twist these ones. Just kind of pull them towards you and twist them. I'm going to tuck it in a little bit. I want to take these back there and twist them. Can you see what I'm doing? I'm just grabbing 2 or 3 at a time, twisting them together. Okay, but I'm going to need some of this. I need 4 of them for going to my switches. All right, luckily I left about a foot for each thing, so all the shorter ones I want to cut, and the other ones I want to leave, the longest ones. So I think these 4 are probably my longest. These 3 I'm going to cut. Okay, if you can see them. Whoop, move it up a little bit. These 4 I'm going to keep. Hopefully they're long enough. Okay. Now one will go the longest one. I'll put it through the wire nut, and these other ones, I'm just going to fold them back a little bit. I have a green wire nut. Okay, they have a hole in it in the middle. Let's see it. Yep. I want to slide this through. I want to twist all those grounds together. All right, all those ones we just cut, we want all those twisted together. And then we can bend these back. Push all this back in the box. Hopefully I left enough wire here, looking pretty short. Push the grounds back into the back of the box. Put these down. You want to save the longest one for way over here. I should have left them a little bit longer, to be honest. Okay. And these two, we'll put one here. We'll put one here. Okay, I got them pointing down. Those are where my switches are going to be. Should have left them a little bit longer. All right, so that gets rid of at least 4 wires there, right? There's a whole bunch of wires in the back. Okay, those are our grounds for each switch. Now, we want to take down some more wires. What we want to work with next is the neutrals. Okay, these are all 14 wire, okay? There's one circuit in here. There's not multiple circuits, so I can put all these neutrals together. Unless it's a smart switch of some kind, it doesn't need the neutral. So let's take all the neutrals down. And leave everything else up. It's just step by step. It looks so much easier once you get all these things. This one I don't want to twist together. I mean, you could if you wanted to, but all right, these are all my neutrals, man. That's a lot. 1, 2, I don't know, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Quite a bit of neutrals. So I'm going to need a big wire nut for this one. Okay, if I missed any one of these neutrals, if I didn't strip one or I missed one, it's still up in there. Come trim time, when I put the switches in, there's going to be a light somewhere that's not going to work because the lights need the neutral. I need a good wire nut for that one. Okay, I got all my neutrals in my hand. Trying to get all the ends lined up. At this point, you shouldn't have to twist them. Just get the ends lined up. And I have a big old gray wire nut here. And I want to put this in the back of the box because I want room for my switches. Got a lot of switches going in. So I want all these neutrals in the back of the box. Yeehaw. Now I want to take all my 3 wires. We also call them travelers. When they're going from one switch to another, when it's a 3-wire, it has a black, a red, a white, that's a 3-wire. If it's not a switch leg and it's not power, it is a traveler. So I want to take all my travelers. These are for my recessed cans. Okay. Make sure you don't mix up the sets. This one, this red and black come from the same set of insulation here. So I want to twist these together. This is for my recessed can. Okay, and then this is the other recessed can. So one of these is coming in, power coming in. The other one is going over to the other box, number 3. I want to twist this one together. I'm basically identifying that this is a set. These go together. Okay, and then that's where this switch is going to be. My recessed can, as soon as I walk out of this room, I'm going to want to hit my recessed cans most likely first, so I put that closest to the door. All right, my dining, I want to take that 2 sets of 3-ways, twist them together. Probably about 10 inches or so coming out of the box. Just twisting them together, not super tight. Okay, trying to keep them apart so I know what's what. And this one, again, don't mix the black and the red. Make sure it comes out of the same insulation. It's the same wire. This is my other dining three-way wire. Okay, there's those two. How about this? We'll put two up, two down. And then I have my fan that's also going to be three-way. No matter what way I leave this room, this great room, if you will, if I'm going outside, I'm going to the bedroom, I'm going to the kitchen, I want to have a way to shut off all the lights. Except, of course, the sconce light. There's going to be a sconce light here. Mainly for watching movies and whatever. Okay, here's my other three-way for the fan. Okay, that's starting to look really interesting, right? There's a lot going on there, man. I apologize. So let me see how I can explain this. We have power coming from box number 1, and it's going to come in on one of these travelers depending on the three-way switch. It's either going to come in on the red or it's going to come in on the black. I don't know. It depends on the position of the switch. Okay? And then the four-way switch, this is going to be connected to one side, either the left side or the right side, or the top or bottom, depending on the make of the switch. And this is going to be on the other side of that four-way switch. So at any given point, the power is going to be going out on the black or the red, going out to the box number 3. All right, so these are just travelers. They already have power coming from box number 1. I don't need to put power on these. They're already going to have power passing through this box. So I just need to make sure that I cut these and put these together with the ground wire. Okay, does that make sense? Because this is going to go on one switch. All right, here we go. This is my fan. My fan four-way is going to go in here. Okay, these are my two three-way travelers, but it's a four-way location here. I got these two together. All I need to do is I want to put the ground around this to keep these two together. So I know these are together. Okay, I put my ground around this nice and tight. Trim off the end. All right. That one is ready. Okay, I can do the same thing here. Okay, these are my travelers for my dining. And my ground is admittedly a little bit too short. I kind of screwed that up, but it's okay. I can live with that. I'll be able to make it work. Okay, I'm going to cut these. Sorry if my arm's in the way. Okay, fold that up. Now this is box number 2, all right? These have all my three-ways passing in and out. They have power already. And this is my fan. Okay, I got my little stubby ground here. Gonna put that around. Gonna cut my travelers. Tuck it in the box. Now this four-way location, as far as the four-ways go, these ones are done. They don't need power. They're already passing through from box number 1 to box number 2 to box number 3 where the switch legs are. 2 of these are power. One of them is for a sconce light, the switch leg. So the 2 powers are coming in from above. I don't want to mess that up. Not really. Okay, these are my 2 power. Okay. I do want to put these together because I don't want to switch power to the other box. So I do want constant power on these. Okay, so the power in and power out, that's coming from box 1. Even if this only had 4 ways, if this only had 3 4-way switches in here, I wouldn't need to run a separate 14-2 wire to this box. Okay, because it's just power in and out. If I was running an outlet out of here, yes, I'd have to run power and then run an outlet. But I am running power to sconce lights. You can't grab power off of one of these and have it work continuously, regardless of the switch, without having constant power. So I pulled constant power to this box so I can run this sconce light. I know it's probably super confusing, and my apologies. Okay, so I got my power here. I need a little, what we call a pigtail, that I'm going to put on my single pole switch for the sconce lights. Okay, I'm going to put a little pigtail on here. This came off the 3-way wiring, or whatever, 4-way wiring. Okay, I need my pigtail. I got my power in, power out, and a pigtail which is probably too long. This might be too long. Okay. I want to shove this back in the box if I have any room left. Maybe I can put it up top. Maybe. Yeah. I'll put it up top, bend it back this way. It's going to be a tight box. This is why I want to explain wire fill later. Box fill. All right, this is my switch leg. It's going down, it's going up, and it doesn't feel healthy for some reason. Is that broken? No, that don't feel right. See how this is like doing something funky here? That wire is cut. That's no good. So we either gotta run a new wire there or something, but I'd rather do it now. Look at that. This is just gonna fall off. It's just a matter of time. It's just gonna fall off. There's nothing there. Doesn't feel right. So probably that little trick I did with the dikes in there cut that wire too much, and now I kind of screwed myself. Hey guys, I'm not gonna lie, I cut that with my dikes a little too hard. I actually had to replace that wire. Set me back probably 15 or 20 minutes at least. Yeah, that really sucked. So make sure if you do that technique, you don't clamp down too hard. You're just trying to score the insulation to get that sheathing off. But I cut it a little bit too much, just a little bit, just enough where I had to rerun that wire. But anyway, this is the only single pole that's in here. Power out, power in, and then this is my switch for the sconce lights, and then these are all four-way, and all that goes over to box 3, except for this one. And we'll do box 3 next. Okay, guys, this is box number 3. This is the last one, almost. This one goes up with all the switch legs. I have power in, power out again. I believe, yep. Power here. You can mark everything so you know what it is. Power out, P out. What we did was add another switch box over for the closet for a light in there and a fan for the entertainment system, keep it cool. So again, everything has to be marked. Recess can 3-way, recess can switch leg. This is where all these 3 wires end, and then we go back into the switch leg that goes up to the light fixture. Finally, this one's marked fan, 3-way fan. This one should be the fan switch leg. See how I got them near the same opening so we can put them in the correct spot and don't get them confused. Dining and dining 3-way probably. And then this one's the outside light. This one here. I didn't mark it, but I can see where it goes. So that one, I'm going to want to put that one first. So when I'm going outside or coming back in, I can shut that light off. Or not. Yeah, we'll put it over here. So recess can, ceiling fan, dining light, and outside light. I don't know. Yeah, I guess I'll do it like that. I don't think I'm going to run this outside light very often, but it's required by code, so I've got to have a light there. Okay. Again, we got to cut everything to some sort of length, 12 inches or so. Let's get it all cut up. This one's okay already. Okay, we're back with all these wires again. So it's not so confusing. Get all the wires out of the way except for the first one that you're going to be working with, which is the grounds. And we have another 4-gang box. So get all these wires up out of the way. You don't have to deal with these just yet. Keep the grounds down. And the light is like right in my face. Okay. I need 4, 1 for each switch. Tuck this in the box. We need room for the switches later. Okay. This one will work for way back here. one's probably good for the first one. Third one and second one. So just trying to get long enough ground wires. All right, so the next ones we have to work with are the neutrals. Okay, got another big gray wire nut. I got the neutrals together. You saw how we did that on the last one. So we had to do it again. And this is why we need box fill calculations, because there's a lot of wire here. It's going to be fun getting those switches in there too. So, okay, it's my power in, power out. And then I have my switch leg way over here for my outside light. I've decided I'm going to go ahead and run that on that first space here. So I need my switch leg to be over here. For the outside light. Okay, but I do need to not screw these up. This one up is my switch leg. These two are my power in, power out. I don't need power again in this box other than for just this. These three are all set. Power is coming from that kitchen box number 1. Okay, but this one I need for my outside light, and I need it for my other switch box for the closet. So let me put these two together. All right, so there's my switch leg, my power. Let's make up this switch. You twist these together. Wrap my ground around it, keeps them together. I don't know if you can see. Okay, that's a single pole switch there. And sending power out. This one's my 3-way. So what I say on the other box, we need to twist these 3 ways together so we know. This red goes with this black coming out of the same insulation. These are my travelers. Okay, and then its switch leg goes with it. And then wrap it with the ground, keep them together. So come trim time, we know all these go together. Okay, same with the next one. Give me the fan. Travelers together. And then one of these is my switch leg. Can't tell which one. Looks like that one. Yep, this one. Together, wrap it with the ground. And we'll see you all later at trim time. We're going to actually put all these switches in. So which one's which here? And we'll go through some troubleshooting. If I run into any trouble here, I'll show you how to troubleshoot it. Okay, this one is my traveler, my last one. And it's traveling quite a bit in this room. From one box to another box to another one. And that is coming from, see, I got it the wrong way. This is one of my travelers. So if I hooked it up like that, it just wouldn't work right. It's hard to tell. It's so bright in the background. Okay. Alright, now I got it. These two are my travelers. This one's my switch leg. And my ground for the switch. Okay, let's trim these up. Looking forward to trim time, tell you that. Okay, this one, 3-way, 2 3-way, and my last 3-way, and my single pole switch. So that's all there is to that. You guys want to like, follow, and share. Come trim time, I'm going to trim out these 3 ways, the switches. We're going to test the wiring. We're going to put the 4 ways in. We'll show you how to do that. But that's how you do the rough. That's how you do the rough electrical. Always try to make it nice and neat like this. We'll see you on the next one.